Hey, it's Dave from cheapwinefinder.com again with another wine review. It's getting fall. I decided to go red blend, which goes well with fall. And I found a wine that delivers a lot for the price. What do I have here? I've got the Columbia Crest Horse Heaven Hills Les Chevaux Red Blend 2016. The 2017 vintage is out too, and they changed the label from 16 to 17. The label is very dark for 16, and it's very white and light for 17, so you know the difference. And Les Chevaux is French for horse. Horse Heaven Hills is in the Columbia Valley of Washington. It's east of Vancouver, west of Walla Walla, and on like the northern banks of the Columbia River. When the first settlers got there's wild horses, and so there you go. They thought it was a great place. And this is a red blend that is Merlot, Syrah, Malbec, and they said assorted other red varietals, which I always thought was kind of funny. Well, they don't know what's in there. It's like, if they don't know, who knows? Another thing is, like, it's been an oak. This is a wine that's been aged, which I think I found it for under $12. At Costco, it's under 10, I believe. And it's been an oak for 22 months, French and American oak, for around $22. So, you know, it's winemaking's all about the details. And here they don't know what the grapes were inside there, and they don't know exactly what the time that it was in barrel. Columbia Crest is it's the second label for Chateau Ste Michelle out of Washington. The Chateau Ste Michelle's family wines are the biggest by far in Washington State. And Columbia Crest has been around since the 80s. It's a second label, but they're no slouch. In 2009, the Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon won Wine of the Year in Wine Spectator against every other wine in the world. It was number one. Columbia Crest makes good wines, and they're always on the top 100 list and Best Buy list. So for me, it's kind of funny because they didn't know what the grapes were inside other than the first three, and they didn't know exactly. I got a feeling it's not as if they are not taking care of business, as they just don't really care about the writing it up. There wasn't much there. It was just, let's pay attention to the wine and not worry about how it's written. And it's a really, I think I found it, like I said, for under $12, and it's got a lot of flavor. That oak aging is something that you cannot duplicate. I'm going to take a sip. Inexpensive red wines have gotten really, really good at giving oak flavoring. That tastes pretty good. It tastes legitimate. It gives you chocolate and vanilla. It gives you a lot of flavors in the wine that you're looking for. And there's different ways they do it. But the one thing they can't do, and this has been in the barrels for almost 2 years, 22 months, around 22 months, you can't replicate that. There's something that happens to the wine after a couple of years. It's in barrel, and the flavors are melding together, and it's leaching the flavors from the oak. You can't replicate that. You can put the flavor in, but you can't replicate what time does to wine. In the review I said, if the 2017 is out now and so is the 2016, under normal circumstances with an inexpensive red wine, you grab the newest one. Always go new. But when you got a wine that's been aged for a while, that extra year doesn't hurt. It helps. They're drink it now wines. They're not really made to be put away. But that doesn't mean they can't be for a short period of time if you can take care of them. And the liquor store probably took very good care of them. So this is kind of one of those wines that goes, it's a little bit up, like the more expensive wines, because time is money. If it's, if it's in barrel for 2 years, sometimes it might need almost 2 years of aging in the bottle. It's not an exact science, but that takes time. And the longer it takes for you to sell that wine, money adds up as it's sitting there, and the harder it is to make an inexpensive wine, and this is a value-priced wine. So it's a wine you should check out because it's not going to be the same old, same old. I mean, there are good red blends that are inexpensive, and that's perfectly fine. But here you got one that's from a single AVA from a top-notch producer that's got some oak aging to it, something that you can't replicate with fancy science that only time can do. And I think that's pretty cool. And that's it for me, Dave. Like I said, we got more coming up. Keep it cheap, and adios. Bye-bye.